Situated in the rolling hills of southern Pennsylvania, the Flight 93 National Memorial is a somber reminder of one of the most courageous acts of everyday heroes that our country has ever seen. As you drive along the winding roads surrounded by open fields, there's a different feeling in the air, one of reverence and respect, for it is the final resting place for 40 brave souls who defended our country in a way that had never been seen before or since.
The individuals who boarded United 93 in Newark, New Jersey were people just like you and I. They were people headed on vacations. They were people who were going to visit loved ones. Some of the individuals were returning after visiting family on the East Coast, going to the West Coast. When you think about overtaking the plane, you know, there are many stories of several heroes, but here at Flight 93, we like to think about it as everyone on that plane was a hero because they all did something, whether they prayed, whether they held somebody's hand, whether they were actually part of the crew that charged the gate. They all did something to make a difference for all of us.
This national memorial sees thousands of visitors each year who come away visibly moved by the experience.
As you come in the entrance, you're welcomed first by the Tower of Voices. And in this stark landscape, you have this impressive tower that through the wind chimes is the living memorial. And it's a very windy place here, if you can't tell. It's windy almost every single day. There's 40 different chimes in the tower, and as the wind blows, it creates this cacophony of sound. And it's the symbolic voices of the passenger and crew members of Flight 93.
For those too young to recall that clear September day, it is hard to describe the mix of feelings we experienced.
The magnitude of the crash and the emotions of that day will all hit you, and it becomes an experience that I think a lot of people don't expect when they drive in, but also it totally encompasses your experience here. You feel it.
It was very solemn, and I've been to the Pentagon Memorial, which is kind of similar in terms of how solemn it is, but it just brings back a lot of memories of what happened that day.
It is not known exactly where Flight 93's ultimate destination was, but it was on a direct path to Washington, D.C., with the most probable targets being the White House or the Capitol building. On that tragic day, countless lives were saved by the men and women who acted quickly to defend our country in the most unconventional way.
The technology that was available to the passenger and crew members, we forget in 2001, not everyone had a cell phone. They learn the story that's unfolding on the ground, and they start talking amongst themselves. They take a vote. They do the most American of things, put true democracy into action, and then they decide that they're going to do something themselves. And it's by making these phone calls, something that we often take for granted every single day, but just knowing and having that contact with a friend, a family loved one, and realizing that what's going on the ground and that they can possibly make a difference. They realize that these planes are hitting buildings, and likely Flight 93 will also. So they try to do something. And being remembered for their heroism and their courage that day, putting democracy in action, making a difference, complete strangers coming together.